think we're live, right? Are we live?
My audio is good. Yeah. Hold up.
Seems like it.
All right, everything sounds good. My mic sounds good.
Testing.
Y'all handsome gentlemen up in the picture. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. All right, guys. We got another one. Veins like tapeworm. Beauty and rot. Rot and beauty. Another RPG Maker title. This is what, guys? MZ? Is this with MZ or MV? Let me double check. I believe it is MZ.
Audio messing up for y'all? Was it good?
I can't hear D7, or it sounds like it's a problem with the stream that we're on, like when the audio cuts out.
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. No. Yep, now good.
All right. Welcome to D757 Darkman. Nah, wrong show, guys. Welcome to the RTP podcast, Rarely Typical Players. Welcome. We have another one for you today. Veins Like Tapeworm by Trinket, which in the Discord. Awesome Trinket. This one is a different one than what we normally stream, you guys, and talk about. This is a visual novel, a horror one at that. So you guys know who we are. I'm D7. My co-host to my left is the new and improved Marlon Jaded.
What's up?
And to my right, we got the freaking Captain Kurt of RPG Maker, the one and only Bit Dog, 6'5", gentlemen. Psychronic Games.
Yo, what's up?
All right, guys. Same rules apply. But we do apologize for not having the podcast live stream because we had an emergency with one of our members. But we are in the works of workarounds where you're going to get a podcast every week regardless of what's going on with one of our lives. So we're working on that. So we do apologize those who was wondering where RTP was. All right, guys. So once again, you already know that we get a game and we play the game and we bring the game to you and tell you guys what we think about the game. Is the game good? Does it need to be commercial? Or do you need to uninstall and try it again? So let's freaking go. I'm gonna go ahead and play the video.
Real quick, am I echoing? Harlequin in the chat said I was echoing. Testing. Can you hear me, guys?
I can hear you. I mean, it's a little bit, but not much.
All right. How about you, Psychronic? How's it sound?
You sound fine to me in this video chat that we're in. However, if I play the video, the live video on YouTube, It does sound like the Pringles can vibe.
Pringles can, not the Pringles can. Come on, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, isn't it like proof that that's not me?
It could, it could be a double audio source, like so two audio sources of almost exactly the same thing playing at the same time on D7's end.
I only have one. Dun dun dun. I only got one on my end. So
I disable all other microphone sources.
it could be the quality of the mic. Not saying it's a bad mic. It's not a bad mic.
But it does sound distinctly different, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like
it
the
does.
YouTube video versus this call that we're on sounds totally.
Yeah, it does.
So like the call is good.
The call is good, yeah. But then for some reason, the YouTube stream is Pringles can.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So we'll figure that out later. All right, guys, let me go ahead and play the video, and we're going to talk about veins like tapeworms. Who would like to take this away?
Hey.
I can do it. Yeah. So so let's look at the synopsis of veins like tapeworm. So I heard some music there. 1 second.
Sorry, good.
1 sec. I'm getting the synopsis. Veins like tapeworms. While working at their dead-end job and dreaming of what could have been, Demian Zhao discovers a flesh-eating parasite who promises to help them finally live free. They can become the monster of their own making, after all. Who needs a moral compass when you have a god in the gutter? When life becomes a monotonous cycle, it's not hard to grasp how someone could be pushed to the brink of violence, all in the name of feeling free. It becomes even more understandable if that person never even began to live before being shoved out of the nest. With no gentle way out, the only chance to start anew is to snap chains and splatter organs. Putting it that way, it was only a matter of time until Demian gave in. We can't prevent a tragedy, but we can cause their descent. An unsettling, heart-pounding atmosphere, or features an unsettling, heart-pounding atmosphere, a defined protagonist. Take control of Demian Zhao, a 22-year-old living in the razor-thin edge between murder and mental break. After moving to Kingsfield Beach in the hopes of finding a place to call home, all their motivation to get out and live a better life has been sapped away. There is more, but that's kind of the gist of it. So, yeah, I guess
the extra bit, just saying the extra bit, which is on the Steam page, by the way, like almost kind of gives away some story. It's a little bit spoilery, but I don't know. That's just me. Go ahead, Cyclonic. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I was interested to know more about how this kind of game would play out. So I guess like the story, as far as I understood it when I played it, is that you are this person, Demian, who basically lives at a hotel where Demian works at, and they live and work at this hotel, this kind of crappy motel situation. And from the beginnings of the game, it kind of seems like Demian is not living the best life, having a lot of struggles, really not enough money to get groceries, that kind of thing, and really stressing out about life. And something happens that changes Demian's life in a weird way, and that would be the parasite or whatever it is. The game kind of I played the demo, right? Because I didn't. The full game isn't out yet, but I played the demo. It was about an hour long that I was able to play before the demo was over. But it did get to some juicy bits of this parasite takes over, kind of, and doesn't actually take over. Demian's still in control, but provides some kind of like nourishment to Demian's soul of like self-confidence or like, let me live in you and I'll help you too, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the player or the reader doesn't necessarily know whether this parasite is really trying to help or whether this parasite is like actually gonna like kill Demian. There was also some scenes that were cool in this, I'd say, like where when I'm talking about the story here, I don't want to just talk about just the story, but the part about the story that I felt was well done was that it was very atmospheric. Like I felt like I really was there but it was a weird reality, right? But like it did set up the environment, I thought, pretty good, and everything like that. It's just that the actual like story is just is a little on the strange side for me. But at the same time, it wasn't boring or anything. It was just very unusual compared to what I would normally play as a game. And for visual novels don't really bother me that much. It's not my first pick as far as like a type of game I'd play, but I have played a few that I liked and played all the way through. So it's something I can play, no problem, a visual novel, because I'm fine with reading and stuff like that.
Can we dive into that for a second? Yeah. So we did go through the synopsis, and I think that specifically the Steam store page is set up really well. And you guys can check out the synopsis there. It's, veins like tapeworms, but this is a visual novel outside of the usual RPGs that we usually review. But so I guess during this review, we're going to talk about more so the presentation and the story. It's probably going to be a pretty story-heavy review, and then if we could get into a little bit of the mechanics of how the visual novel delivers the content, then I guess we get it. That will bring us full circle with reviewing this. So not too many sections and stuff like that. Visual novels are straightforward, and it don't require a lot of skill, in my opinion, to have the full experience from a visual novel.
All right, so the game what's the genre of this game? Visual novel / horror, correct?
Yeah.
So we know
it's psychological.
So dealing with your psyche, paranormal, or whether your depression and stuff like that. So just like Socratic was saying, you are an individual named Demian, and Demian is a non-binary individual. They go by they, and the developer made that clear in the game that it's not a he, it's not a she, it's they. So you're basically working a dead-end job. You're basically living paycheck to paycheck, if that, until one day your boss gives you an odd request that you never ever done before. So not only you're an employee of your boss, but you also work for your boss and live on your boss's establishment. So the game immediately give you the gore of what is to come when you are presented with cleaning a bathtub with a dead body in it that's full of blood. So that's the eerie part of it. Like, oh my gosh, somebody probably off themselves, killed themselves. They're in the bad, or probably with murder. They're in the bathtub dead, and no telling how long they've been in there. We just know it's horrible. And my boss is a cheapskate because he's trying to save much money as he can, because hiring a professional is going to cost you a lot of money, hiring a professional. So Demian, right off the bat, the player is presented with, like, oh my gosh, like, this isn't normal. This isn't, what a hotel worker or cleaner is supposed to be doing. So, and you could feel the desperation from the boss to get to get Demian to clean up that blood. So as a player, I want to say that the developer wants the player to feel that they are Demian. I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah, to answer your question, I would say yeah, but also in my from the way I played it, no, I felt like I was more so like um I was a host to Demian's like struggles. Right, because it says like the way the story is told is like Demian thinks, Demian falls, like he does this, he does that. I mean, they do this, they do that, and I make the decisions for Demian, and then the outcome occurs. Demian walked out and take a cigarette. I didn't walk out and take a cigarette, right? If you ever played, dang, what's the game? Give me 1 second. I gotta find that game.
Heavy Rain.
I would say, yeah, Heavy Rain. I remember Heavy Rain. Yeah, for sure. That's not the one. It's more like a visual novel, more recent. Anyway, yeah, it puts you in the shoes of the protagonist, even though the protagonist is a named protagonist. Everything you do is like you do this, and there's a narrator behind it too. While I find the name of the game, I did want to kind of bring some bring the conversation towards the beginning scene, notably when it's like that house and yeah, Damian's boss is there. That image really set the tone, I think, for the rest of the game, or for like to bring me into the game. So I like I noted that, so I think I like that about the game or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it really brought me in. Okay, this is a dark game. It's like, that was a pretty interesting picture. So but I see how it didn't stay consistent with that. Some of the backgrounds change, a lot of backgrounds change, and they're more drawn. So I would say if the developer could kind of maybe consider sticking to that like grungy imagery, I think that'd be cool. It'd be good to kind of set the tone of the game or set the tone of the scene.
Yeah, I like that too. The game really kind of makes you feel like you're really there, like it's not, that's what I felt like was pretty good. But yeah, some of the scenes, I did like the grungier look as well.
Yeah, and actually, so I'm jumping around and I'm avoiding specifically going through the story because I wanted to like talk about my experience as soon as I like fired up the game. I really like how it does give you that warning saying like, hey, this is 17 plus type stuff, and you have the option to get the warning. I think the game has the ability to like skip certain scenes that are graphic, but then it also can give you like context about what you're about to see. So I guess you can prepare for it. So, and then you have the option to like not have those prompts. So I just think like, yeah, the developer's pretty mindful to include something like that. So yeah, I appreciate it. I hope that the player gets the experience that the developer wants to convey though. So I would say there's a fine line between you know giving the player that context and warning them, and then like, because they'll likely be like minimal shock value, you know because a TV show, if you look at a TV show that does like horror, psychological horror, thrillers, they got to have like a little bit of a jump scare in it, right, to kind of keep you engaged. So I appreciate the warnings, but yep, it's going to be hard to strike a balance at that point.
So the developer created this main character, right, Demian, to not, let me say, You know how like most developers create a perfect character or perfect hero.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this person is far from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could definitely feel depression, anxiety, maybe suicidal thoughts. Excuse my language. You know, getting by, doing what you got to do, taking on a role of responsibility just to survive. This is this character. So when you're down and out, right, and you have only a small circle of individuals who you can relate to, you basically become a shell, you know, that you're living inside an invisible shell. This is this developer. I mean, not developer. This is this character. You know, the developer tries to relate to individuals that may be playing this game, that may be going through something in their lives, and they feel one with this character. They feel one with this character, Demian. For example, if you're actually going through struggle, like I personally know people living in hotels, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. I personally know individuals that are actually going through that. As a player, you could feel it. You could feel what this character is going through. You know,
yeah. Let me can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Go ahead.
Okay. By the way, the game is called Disco Elysium, right? So if y'all ever played Disco Elysium, I feel like that game puts you in the shoes of the protagonist a little bit better, because all your actions are dictated, and they dictated by the narrator, and you're making the decisions of this guy who's like lost his memory and stuff like that. But I would say this character Demian, the way it's presented to me is, like I said, even though I've had my own personal struggles in life, I don't want to like. I guess I just want to say for leveling the playing field, that I was living in a hotel with my mom when I was younger, at one point in my life, and I've had like struggles, but the way Demian is portrayed, I don't feel that they're purposefully like relating to folks, because the way that Demian like is presented, it's like I feel like this character is like already fed up. This character is already not trying to do anything they're supposed to do. They're already on the brink of self-destruction, on the brink of, you know, like negative thoughts and stuff like that. I would have liked to seen some sort of lead up to Damian's current mental state, current physical, mental, actual like holistic state, that could then be a link to folks that have gone into that have become there. Because I feel like it's like, if you think about a ninja, right? Ninja Gaiden, think about Ryu Hayabusa and the Ninja Gaiden, right? That guy is a ninja, that guy is awesome, but you control him, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that he's relating to all the kids that went and got black belts and, you know, want to become ninjas and stuff like that. Like, it's you know what I'm saying? So, because I feel like the way this game starts, Demian just appears, right? There's no like, okay, how'd you end up like this? How do you cope with this? It's just there's no stilts holding up this character, and I feel like that is it's left to the developer to utilize, right? Whether they want to just let you pilot Demian, or do they want you to uh you know imprint yourself onto Demian, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that that those two different positions there, and I'm leaning more towards you're piloting Demian. Damian's got their own issues, and it's not even matter with whether you relate to him or not. That's kind of the vibe I get. But I do recognize that folks do go through psychological struggles and stuff too.
What you think, Cychronic, on maybe Demian may be a mixture of?
I don't know. I don't know. I played it, and I didn't feel like it was me trying to imprint myself on Demian. I felt like it was that I was experiencing a story, a Demian story, and that story is totally different than my story. And it seemed like a lot of the decisions, like, because there were some decisions, like they're kind of like I don't know if choices matter that much. I don't know if like there's gonna be like different endings or different things that happen if you make different choices as Demian. But it seemed like it was not really like there was choices, but it kind of ended up leading to the same thing anyway. Maybe.
Yeah. Couple things I do want to praise about the development of Demian. I think like the developer must have put a lot of. See, this is one of those things where instead of having to create battle mechanics and elaborate like cutscenes and stuff, and all the NPC items, and I mean, it's things like that. All these like having to focus your brain on like with just one thing, developing the story. You can tell how much depth there is to Demian. I just think that yeah, there's probably a little more left to be desired as far as the the yeah, like the feeling that you want to get, like, because do you want to feel sorry for Demian, right? Do you want to feel angry at Demian because he can't get himself out of the rut he's in or do you want to like cheer him on, right? Do you want to root for him? Can't really tell, but you can tell that he's got these issues. He's got the disgust for their job, and all of that stuff going on. So it's I think that maybe the developer can try to figure out where to take that character, right? What y'all think about the other like supporting characters? Like maybe that first old guy in the beginning. I forgot his name, Oscar or something.
The old
Edgar.
guy.
Edgar Oscar.
The old guy reminds me of a cheapskate, like a slumlord, somebody that's trying to get over.
Yeah, like you try to get as much work out of him as possible while paying as little as possible.
Because he told Demian, he said, I can't pay you
overtime,
but I will pay you whenever the money comes in.
Yeah, real quick though, what does Demian do?
Demian cleans
Okay.
Cleans all the nasty hotel stuff when people move out of the rooms. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're basically a super for the hotels. Without the maintenance part, they're just a cleaner, a hotel room cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So I missed that. Jumping through, because it almost gave me like a detective vibe for a second. The very very beginning, I'm like, it would be cool if I was supposed to figure out who the killer was or something. To blood.
But that's what it seemed like it was going to be like at first. But but then it turned out a little different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So. Oh, okay. And all right. So How about how do you guys want to do this? I see somebody in the chat is like, what's the verdict, right? So that reminds me of like our little scoring system. We got it pretty locked down for RPG games, but for visual novels, so there's the presentation, the story, and dang, any other
let's do
categories.
Let's do character interactions, because you gotta have, I mean, player interactions, because you gotta have more than just reading a story. You know, is it really a game when you're just reading a game that's basically an illustrated book? You know, visual novels normally have, especially with RPG Maker, they normally do have RPG elements, but this one doesn't have any RPG elements at all. It basically reminds, you know, it basically is what it is, a visual novels with choices that have separate endings. But Cyclone made a good point earlier, saying that, do the choices really matter to the player? Because that's the gameplay, right? Like when we get to make a choice, and one of the choices was, I believe one of the choices was when you're in the hotel room and your neighbor is playing loud music, you got two choices: ignore it, or say you're gonna confront them. All right. Yeah, you remember that part?
Yeah, I remember that, and I was gonna get to that. That was one of my like gripes about the game. You know, if we just want to jump right into it. But yeah,
Yeah.
There was no option. Like it kind of died. So you can go knock on the door. I was excited to see that part. To be honest, I was like, whoa, like music, something's about to happen. It felt like I was about to open up a huge branch in the game. That's what it felt like. But it ended up just kind of falling back to the main line, going back to what Damian's doing, and it didn't pan out very big. Like, you know, I didn't think it'd be a lot of what. Yeah, it didn't turn out to be anything. But yeah, what y'all think?
This is based on what I played and the choices that I really made. I don't think it really, because I believe I said go confront them, right? And
That's what I said
they
too.
end up not going to confront them. They end up saying,
my character did go confront him. Well,
you try to knock on the door, but they don't answer, and then it moves on to the next part.
Exactly. Okay, so all right, no, because I had a problem like that, like where it actually, okay, you select an option and it didn't even seem like it attempted to choose the option. At least like when you select confront, it attempts the confrontation, like they go to the door.
Yeah.
But the Miriam scene at the beginning, I mean in the shop scene where you get to tell Miriam about what you do or what you did at work.
Yeah.
It seemed like Demian at that point just chose to not say what I said.
I think I said, yeah, I said I was gonna tell them, but they chose not to say it. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's the gameplay. If the player want to see a exciting scene, especially that, like, hey, Cyclone be like, hey D7, what you do for your cleaning business today? And I could be like, oh man, I went into a drug infested house, and there was nothing but bodies laying over everywhere, nothing but dead bodies everywhere. But now I'm like, no, I'm not gonna tell them because I don't want to make them scared. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't want to trouble them.
Yeah, what's the point of giving me a choice and I'm not going to get the result?
Yeah.
If I want to run into the fire butt naked, and that's one of the choices, I should be able to run into the fire butt naked and get the game over. You know what I'm saying? Versus don't go in that house.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, make my choices count. Make my choices count. If I want to do something that's crazy and that will hurt my gameplay, that's on me.
Yeah, I honestly agree. I think that would make for a very like entertaining game, right? Even though it's a visual novel, you know. So yeah, I don't have much experience with visual novels for that very reason. Only Disco Elysium, but Disco Elysium had some elements. I think it had combat, it had items and stuff going on, but it was a lot of dialogue, a lot of expositions, and yeah, you're a detective, stuff like that. So it had a lot of elements going on with it. This being just a straight up story, I was trying to just rate it for what content is there, because I'm guessing that somebody might want to just experience the game like this. I was trying to tackle it with an open mind, but I do see how the interaction could be enhanced. So I would say the developer probably would like to consider, really fleshing out these alternate paths to give a good experience to the player. Yeah, give them some game overs if they pick certain things, and things like that.
I mean, it could alternate the ending because there's 6 different endings that the player can get. Even in games like Fallout, I mean, these aren't visual novels, but your chances means whatever, whatever your choices may be. It could maybe introduce new characters, maybe it could introduce new surroundings, new equipment. So with a visual novel, you only got so much leeway to bring entertainment, because I can read a book and still have that visualization that I'm there, but now I'm playing the game, my brain is working different, because I play games for what? Entertainment, right? Not relaxation. You read a book for relaxation and to wander, get away from reality. I'm playing a video game for entertainment, and that's what I want while playing the game, is to be entertained. I don't want to be reading a book while playing the game, even as a visual novel, whatnot. You have to make it exciting. You got to make the player want to actually get involved, and the only way to get them involved is to let them feel like they are in charge, or can alter the destiny of the hero, whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean? So maybe we need to add elements, maybe different relationship points, or maybe made it like the friend knew that we was lying, or we was holding something back, an alternate decision like that. If we decided not to tell the truth, if this person's our best friend and know us, they can tell by our demeanor that something is wrong, and maybe it could lead up to a stronger relationship or a bad relationship with this other individual. And most games does that. What's that one game, Dead by Daylight, whatever? It's basically an action visual novel, but your choices affects you and other characters as well. This game needs that. So far there's only 4 characters: the friend, Demian, the little blob, the devil thing, and the main character, the boss. Those are
the girl that threw up, I guess, in the dumpster.
Yeah, but I believe that was the previous host, right?
Yeah.
So that was the host of the black blob thing. That
No, I would assume she was a separate character, because she did. Did you look at that ending at the end? It was like a police thing.
I don't
It was
think
like
I don't think I got an ending. It said 0 out of 1, 0 out of 6 when I was finished with it.
Oh well, I got an ending. And
I didn't get one.
I got a 0 out of 6 too. I didn't get an ending.
Oh dang, yeah, I got an ending. The guy, where's his name? He is he's interrogating the girl that was throwing up.
Oh.
Trying to figure out, and she was like, "Don't tell some people." Dang, where's my notes? Because I wrote his name down. Dang, but yeah, it seemed like it was very it was leading up to, like, what do you call that, foreshadowing. Yeah, it was a lot of foreshadowing there with that interrogation scene. It was like recorded footage, and then there was like some recorded audio talking about the stuff, but dang, I can't remember it now. But it seemed like it gave me Resident Evil 7 vibes, guys. Like, I thought that was the coolest part of the game, unlocking the certain endings and stuff. But I guess, yeah, I guess the gameplay really lies in making the different choices. That leads me into like the mechanics of the game. I know we're like, man, we're really scatterbrained as according to how we usually review the RPG games, because it's basically hard to really section out these components, because you need the presentation to tell a good story, and then all of the presentation, the words and everything is like the whole game in itself. Is not a lot of elements to this, but I'm gonna say, as far as the mechanics was concerned, yeah, I would like some sort of way to tell me that I can save explicitly, because maybe that would help me to be able to fish, because folks are not going to really want to play the game over and over and remember the choices that they made. What I did was I was able to load a previous autosave and then select something else. But if you put something in the game that says like, now you can save again, maybe like an icon or something like that appears on the screen, then folks can use that, because the gameplay on the screen is weird. The save button is there, but it was like grayed out for me, so I don't know what that meant. But yeah, so that's one of the things I noticed, right? Allow me to kind of scum it just a bit in order to try different options and see what I get. Hey, how about we kind of hone in on a couple of elements so we can give it a rating, right? So let's start with like the overall just presentation, and then give a score for that. What y'all think?
Sure.
That cool. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. So when a game boots up, I really like the different options. It shows that you can unlock some endings. It shows that, dang, what else? There's a gallery of images. I like that. However, I would have liked to see something more, like some sort of glossary or something. Like, so I'm using the word glossary, but maybe think like some sort of journal or notebook or whatever that would give some context to the on all of the elements of the game. And it probably can build as you go through the novel, so that you can look back on it, because some of the stuff you kind of obviously you will forget, right? Character names, stuff like that. I liked, like I said, I liked some of the background images used, and I like the art. I like how the art is unique, but I do feel like some of the expressions are a little kind of dry, like even like different expressions. So really, I would say to the developer, if you could get some of the eyes to match the expressions of the mouths to really change, to give that impact. I think that would probably go a long way. I like how some scenes you have some semblance of animation, but other scenes, like the grocery scene and the first scene, the very beginning, There's a lot of stillness going on. I would say focus on adjusting that. I like the sounds. I wish that there would be more sounds. I like the crunchy snow, and I like the music choices. But sometimes they're a little bit low. I think that that just needs some tweaking. I would like. I'm just rapid firing. I would like if some of the. I would like if the whole thing was voice acted. Me personally, and some of the text looks like it's a little bit like running on. So I would like it if some of the text of key words and characters was highlighted. So it would just kind of show like a point of reference, like, hey, keep this in mind. This guy is this guy, this place is this place, and stuff like that. Last thing is Kingsfield. Kingsfield is a From Software game, so I don't know if that was a purposeful reference, but I did pick up on that, so I thought that was cool. So overall, for me, the presentation would get I think it would get a 7 with a potential for 8 or a 9 if some of those things are taken into account. I really think that because of visual novel, that presentation and mood setting is very intricate, and I think that they put a concerted effort, and like specifically the sounds for me, I like the sounds that made me want to. That's the only thing that wanted me to play. That's the thing that gripped me. Like for instance, go and confront the guy playing the loud music. That built such immersion. I'm sad to see that it didn't lead to anything. Right. So yeah, please focus on that. So that's my score. What you guys think?
I was also going to give it a 7 as well. I thought that overall the game felt like you were really there, as far as you could feel what the character was going through or whatever. Visually, it looks pretty good actually. Like it feels professional and everything like that. I would have liked to find out more about what this tapeworm does to the main character. I mean, I guess I go back to like some of the small gripes about like the decisions maybe not mattering that much. I'm also wondering how drastic these different endings are. Are they mostly the same, or are they very different from each other? But overall, overall, the game feels a little weird to me. Like as far as like a weird story, but I also wasn't bored, and I wanted to find out what was going on with this tapeworm. And so overall, yeah, I would give it a 7 as well for that.
Cool. All right. Presentation wise, I think the developer did a really good job presenting the game. How the game started up, it wasn't long and boring and just lengthy. They got straight to the part where, okay, this is weird. There's a dead body. Now, who's out there killing? Type thing. And it kind of went down a bit to basically, a depression state. I'm living in a rundown hotel. I don't have no money. I don't have any food, but they did stay strong with describing the room, describing the atmosphere, and just describing people. So it really did feel that I was reading a book. Just how everything is written is like it's what I'm trying to find in the book. Now, as a game, y'all remember those I'm pretty sure y'all do. Remember the Goosebumps book? The
Yeah,
books back in the 90s, like they had one called the Carnival one, right? The Carnival of Horrors, I believe. And while you was reading the book, it gives you a choice to like turn to one page or turn to another page based on what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like and it gives you a different outcome each time, you know, you choose a specific page to turn to. So the book isn't written in order, it's written where, you know, the reader takes a stop and like, for example, it may say, do you want to go on the Ferris wheel of doom, turn to page 98, or do you want to go to, you know, the roller coaster of horrors, turn to page 200? You know, then you turn to that page and it keeps asking you to turn to this page, that page, where you're actually making critical decisions based on your choices. This game don't really, you're not really getting that with your choices, because I feel like most of the choices could be predetermined, because you're instilling that to the player once his initial choice get rejected. So now it feels like it don't matter what I pick. I could just pick anything and don't really have to worry about consequences, because you clearly show me that I have no consequences at all, because the character is automatically going to use their better judgment and go against what I say. That's basically what you're doing, you know, to your player once you do that.
But to be fair though, didn't those Goosebumps books, a lot of times when you did choose the wrong choice, it would only be like 2 more pages of reading before you like fell down a pit and died or something?
Yeah, some choices were bad, some choices were good, you know. But yeah. I remember getting that book from a book fair. You know, I believe that was the first book I got from a book fair, you know, back in the 4th grade. And I think I still have that book to this day. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy though. But yeah, you're basically doing that. You're basically doing that to your player. Like, I feel like no matter what choices I made, I should at least get some kind of ending. You know what I mean? Which prompts me to go back and want to, you know, maybe make different choices to see different outcomes and stuff. How Marlon got his ending, I have no freaking idea. You know what I mean? But I try to play the game as a reasonable person. Yeah, if my neighbor has loud music, I want to confront them. Or if I just want to keep the peace, I may, you know what, sleep it off, whatnot. You know what I mean? Give me negative and positive, consequences. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, it feels like reading a book than actually playing the game. And it's hard to win people over with visual novels. It's really tough to do because the circle is so small, right? So when you're trying to get an action player to play a visual novel, you got to at least give that person that action, you know, as early as possible. So presentation, I give this 7.2.
Cool. I mean, overall, I kind of liked it. It was weird, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah, same. Do you guys want to? So I was thinking that, yeah, there's gotta be some sort of gameplay rating, right?
Well, I mean, in a visual novel, the gameplay is the visual novel, and the reading and the choices and stuff.
See,
so go ahead.
You got games that's based off of, you know, like especially with RPG Maker. Most visual novels in RPG Maker has RPG elements in a way. You know, it has some type of system in the background that you physically can't see. Like I play Durden's visual novels, Trials of Cocoros, Trials of Guinevere. You know, it has stories like this and picture art, but it also has combat. It has experience. It has skills you can learn. You know, it's a visual novel / RPG. This isn't a visual novel / RPG. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, a VN.
But you're playing the role of Demian though.
Okay. And my choices should be the role, whether good or bad. I'm not getting the gameplay that I really wanted because my choices don't really mean nothing.
Well, maybe they do. Maybe we just didn't get to see it because maybe that's not in the demo.
But how do I know that?
I don't know. I would like to know.
You gotta make it make sense. How do I know? It says if you're promising me endings, right? Let's say if you promising me endings, I want to be able to control what endings I get, right?
Yeah, in a way.
So I should get something. I should get something. I shouldn't have 0 out of 6 ending. You know what I mean? Like
there should have been like at least one ending, I guess.
I should have got something.
But to answer Annoyed Nova's question, we played the demo. The complete game, though, looks like it's coming out soon. It shows a release date.
It's not out yet.
It said February 14th.
Yeah, February 14th. Alright, it says every choice a reader can make is thought running through Demian's mind at the moment. Will you help them pluck the worms of cruelty from their brain or indulge in their most violent fantasies? So if I want to tell my best friend about a dead body I seen at work, I should be able to do that. So that right there is telling me I don't have a choice. But the game is describing that I'm controlling Demian. I'm in control. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, it's right. It's right there. It's right there, brothers.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
you're playing the role of Damian.
What if I'm one of those players I just want to do bad? I don't want to do nothing good. I just want to do all the bad stuff, all the evil stuff.
Yeah, that's always fun sometimes.
You see what I'm saying? But no. Oh, you think twice before actually doing it, and Demian decides not to do it.
Well, I was gonna try to spread the tapeworm to as many people as I could.
And what do you think they would have said?
They would have said thank you.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. But it did say this. This game contains heavy themes of cannibalism, transphobia, gender dysphoria, child abuse, animal abuse, death, blood and gore, vomiting, familicide, body horror, and depression.
Works for me.
I mean, you see a little bit of that, but if I really want to do that kind of thing, I need to be able to do that kind of thing, if that makes sense. I want to do all the bad. I want to do all the bad stuff, all of it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Skyrim. I could play Skyrim, go to every town, and be wanted in every town I could go to, because that's my choice. So when you have a visual novel with choices, whether they're good or bad, you have to play the outcome of whatever choice I pick. That's the gameplay.
Yeah.
If not, I might as well read a book.
Yeah, so I think gameplay should be a category, right? And just so happens like this is kind of lacking in that field, right? So I'm gonna so story, gameplay, presentation for visual novels. I'm guessing like those are the categories we could rate. And story, I'm gonna just go out and say I think the concept is interesting, very intriguing. I think like I'm very excited. Like I feel like it's got a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could tell the developer put a lot of effort into describing what you see and the different endings and the expositions, and I think there's like an interrogation scene. I don't call it it's like a questioning. I don't say like this definite like interrogation that you unlock if you don't go in the trash can. I mean, y'all don't go in the dumpster. I think y'all went in the dumpster, so don't go in the dumpster. You get an ending.
Hold on, did you go in
like,
the dumpster?
Yeah, I said no, and it ended the game. So if you
oh, okay, I said yes, and
Yeah.
and then the tapeworm integrated itself into.
Right. So my character was like, yeah, ain't no point in going checking that. That was crazy, and then that was over.
So you just clarified that you got a game over. That's a game.
Yeah.
That's a game over, basically.
But I think that might be a flaw of the game because it didn't feel like a game over to me. It's like I think it said like the chapter ended or something like that, and you unlocked an ending. So it's maybe like in one way it's a success state because you never get the tapeworm. The tapeworm
it ain't no success state because now you gotta play the game over again and said now you wants to go to the thing. Make it make sense.
I think like that could very well be like the opposite of a game over. Like game over kind of has a negative connotation to it. Like the game is officially over. Otherwise, right, like this is, if you consider it anything like a choose your own adventure game, it's like if the hero never went to save the princess, they just went home, ate a pie, went to sleep, and that's it. So I would say it's an ending path. So and I think like oh, okay. So somebody just said it's like a dead end. So yeah, if you want to consider that, I think it's just I think that maybe the game would you would mention the developer would say, hey, there's more to be seen in this game. Maybe like let me know that there's more to experience in this world of survival horror. It's like I had strong Resident Evil vibes, honestly. But yeah, I think so as far as the story though, I think that the characters have the potential to be really developed. I like the Miriam, and by the way, I think Miriam and the last host look very similar. I don't know if that's a purpose, but I don't think they actually have the same names. And then there's the guy in the interrogation room, or the questioning room. That guy, I forgot his name, but yeah, really interesting. I would give it like an 8. I think it's got some work to be done because I think stories are like the best feature of a visual novel, I would assume, right? So that should be the 9 to 10 range, like because that's all you're really doing. But I would say it's such a good like mood setter type of theme and stuff. But Demian is kind of it seems like I can't tell where his their troubles really stem from, and I think that's probably going to be hard to kind of sympathize with whatever's going on with that character, especially, and that's your character that you play with, right? So they're troubled and they got a lot of problems, but if you can't like kind of dig into helping the character or understanding where they came from, where those problems came from, or anything like that, then you're just watching them go through stuff, you know. So that's probably where it could be best improved. Also, dang, the boss situation seemed weird because there was a statement about um eating, like going to the bathroom, quote unquote, where you sleep, or go to the bathroom, quote unquote, where you work, you know, where you eat. That saying kind of I think it refers to maybe having a interrelationship with your boss or something like that, or your coworker or something like that. So I think that was weird. So I couldn't tell if they were alluding to that or not. So that's something I did notice.
Didn't Demian say specifically that they were asexual, meaning like not?
Yep. Noticed that outside when he was smoking a cigarette. But like I said, the statement is in there, so I think like that needs to be fished out, addressed, because people are going to think that maybe he has an abusive relationship with the boss or something, like some sort of parasitic relationship with the boss, or something like that. So I don't know, you know. That's something I noticed. So yeah, I want to say 8 on the story because I can tell that, okay, all of the effort put into describing the scenes, giving the characters their own kind of you know, characteristics and attitudes and stuff like that. And I think the world is fleshed out. It was at Kingsfield, Nevada, and stuff like that. It's a lot to be seen, and especially the end. I actually like that ending scene where the interrogation, they was talking, and the lady was like nervous. She was like, "Don't tell some people," and stuff like that. It seemed like it was leading something. It was leading into something. Um, yeah. So somebody asked to describe the main character for us. Do you want to do that, or you want to get into the ratings? Which are they?
I mean, the main character seems like somebody who's been through some struggles, is kind of feeling sorry for themselves in some ways, but they're trying. But there's there seem to be a lot of self-loathing and stuff too, and just kind of and then also the character is a they, and not a he or she. But then there is a lot of, but then things change once the character gets the tapeworm. Like there's like a renewed sense of confidence, and but there's problems too, because there's also another scene, you know, after you get the tapeworm, where the other guy that was going to cover your shift or cover Damian's shift is on the phone with one of Demian, I think the other character from the store, the workplace, and was basically saying, "Hey, Damian's been acting really weird. Has been talking to themselves, and blah 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 blah." So there's like these scenes that are like in front of the mirror where like Demian is talking to the inner tapeworm through the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess other people pick up on that, but it wasn't presented to Demian like as the player didn't experience that as like other people observing, but there was kind of an interesting scene there about that. So yeah, I don't know. The main character is like just going through some struggle, and this tapeworm gives them a new sense of confidence, but there's something maybe bad that's going to happen. I don't know whether blooming means that they're going to die at the end of this process where the tapeworm like grows to its full size. But yeah, I don't know. But as for the rating of everything, I kind of just go with kind of what I said before when we went with the story. I'm gonna give it a 7. And I did like it. I was interested in it. I thought it was kind of weird, but whatever. Sometimes weird is good. But I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay. What about you, D7?
I haven't played a lot of visual novels, but I could clearly say this one is really interesting. You know, from beginning all the way to the end, I actually like how the story was told. You know, of course there's you know, I wish I knew more about this, but I think clearly, you know, the developer done told who the main character is, what they're going through, how they identify themselves, and actually how they was coming up. You know, it describes the relationship that he had with his parents. You know, they had with their parents. You know, how the mother loved, you know, his black hair originally. I believe his hair was black originally before, you know, we have the look that we have now. You know, it really goes into, you know, depth and details, you know, to build up who Demian really is. And this is the question that I really have. I've been asked myself because, you know, I played games where these characters are, you know, a way to tell a story or what somebody's actually going through, and you know, they just turn it to a story. You know, they turn it to something to, like, you know, to just get things off their chest. You know, I'm not saying this game is one, but the description of the character is really vivid, you know. But other than that, from smelling how the dead body is and cleaning up the blood to, you know, the roach infested hotel room, you know, either this person knows the struggle for real, or, you know, they just got a vivid imagination. And I feel like they did a really good job putting the player there. Like, you could actually visualize and feel like, oh man, do I really want to be eating while reading the context of this game? You're definitely there. But as for terms of, you know, not adhering to my choices when I play the game, is kind of unsettling. But you're going to get a good experience for just reading it if you like books, if you like stories, because this is what this game is. It is a story that has choices, but is it enough, you know, to like but it's really vivid and is really detailed of what's going on in the atmosphere. You know, even when you're kicking the vending machine, you know, it describes the package not falling, you know, then you try again and again, then it actually fell and you got your reward, you know, and it was worthwhile. You know, like, we all know those feelings. We know going to the vending machine at the rec center, getting something and it's not coming out all the way, then you like, give me my food, or give me, you know, you definitely felt that. So the strong point of this game is the writing. It's really strong. And I like horror books. I like the Stephen King books. I like the John Grisham books. You know, this is definitely leaning towards like a Stephen King novel type book, you know, because And most of Stephen King books, you know, it's an average person that may be going through something till something crazy happen. And what's the crazy thing? It is the tapeworm. Well, I'm not going to say it's not actually a tapeworm. It's actually like a blob that basically, you know, takes over you, just like Harlequin was saying, Venom. You know, it's
like very much like Venom.
Yeah, but this time we don't know if it's demonic or alienated or whatever. So it definitely gives you that I want to know more type vibe. It has that. But overall, I feel like this game isn't like an action game that gives player action. It's more of a story game. And it is a visual novel / horror, and it is doing its job. It's doing its job. I'm not even gonna lie. So I give it an 8. I give it an 8.3.
All right. So yeah, real quick, I guess that sums up the visual novel, but the gameplay, someone did mention in the chat, yep, that is just the lacking bit of this game, and that's really kind of up to the developer, in my opinion, like what their vision for this game is. If they want it to be super casual, then I guess you wouldn't want to be explicitly looking for features, but I think that it would only make the game better, in my opinion, if some sort of loop back, like for instance, like a chapter select, you could select different options, or if you had some sort of system where you could re-engage with characters in a chapter, say like you want to go back and talk to Miriam, or while you're in your hotel you want to step out and talk to your boss, things like that, to really bring some interactivity into the mix. So I think that's where the gameplay really would show. So I guess for that last tier, that last category, I would give this one a 5, right? Because it does what a visual novel does. Tells a story, allows you to interact very minimally by making some choices. But it's very story heavy, and I think that's where the most improvement could be had, in my opinion. But if you want to play it like you're just reading a book or watching a movie, then I think it's doing its job. It could be better in some ways, but you know, it's all up to what I think the developer wants to present. But me personally, I would be looking for more. What y'all think?
As far as the gameplay goes and everything like that, I'm gonna kind of judge it for what it is, which is a visual novel. And the more interactivity would be good. It's a little bit on rails, even though there's multiple choices. The choices seem kind of like they're on rails. But I'm not expecting it to have, as a visual novel, I'm not expecting it to have like a combat system or like anything gameplay wise that's too crazy out there. So I'm just gonna give it the same as I did for the other categories, which is a straight 7. I thought it was fine. Visual novels don't bother me. It's not the genre I would pick like as my first choice, but I have played a few that I really liked. I did actually like this one. I was interested to find out more. I think it did its job, and I think it can have some improvements, but it did what it needed to do, and so I'm just gonna give it a 7, like the other categories. Just a straight 7.
I guess it's my turn, ain't it?
Yep, D7, what you got?
All right, so overall, it's a visual novel. It's nothing more, and like Cychronic said, these aren't my go-to games. These are not my go-to games. But at the same time, as somebody that likes story, I like stories. You know, I definitely like this one. I definitely like this story. You know, I definitely like where they're going through. You know, some things, you know, ain't for everybody. But I feel like this game has that mystery. It has that suspense. It has that whodunit type thing. Maybe, you know, I was thinking some of the time, maybe that blob thing is the reason why people's getting, you know, is to probably killed that person, or maybe drove you to insanity. You know, when it blooms, you know, I guess that's taking over the host. I guess, you know, that's like could lead up to self-destruction after whatever. So it still has that mystery. But you know, I just wish that, you know, during my experience, my choices matter. I know I know you guys are tired of me saying that, but you know, it is what it is. Like, once I have them choices out, that's what I wanted to be, them choices. But it's a visual novel. That's it. It's not an action game. It's not a visual novel with action game. You know, it's not an RPG. It's, you don't find items. You can't go back. You can't you know, decide where to go, where to look. Maybe we get that later on. Maybe not. You know, maybe it's just a linear story. You just go on one path and you just unlock endings. Now, are the endings are game over screens? You know, are you going to get the real story with the new end? Because when you think about the endings are the end of the story, right? So am I getting the real ending of the story, or just a certain ending? You know,
like a token ending to the story. Because I feel like deciding not to go to the dumpster to take the tapeworm into yourself, and then it instantly leading to an ending that is kind of a game over, it seems like that has me a little concerned for the rest of the endings. And you done missed out of, you know, allowing the thing to come in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marlon missed out on having those choices. We didn't. So who won there? Who got the most of the story? You see what I'm saying? So the ending should just be that, the ending. You know what I mean? So, I mean, me personally, it's just a book. It's just a book. It's just a book. Nothing I will, you know, break my neck over, but it's just a book. So I give it a 7.
All right, so I guess that brings us full circle with the review of Veins Like Tapeworms. What you guys think? Excited for it? Give it a buy when it comes out, or?
Yeah, I might check it out when it comes out. I also did, at the developer asked if we would leave a Steam review too, so I did. I left.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave one.
Awesome. Sure,
we can get him. We can get him up to that first 10 reviews.
So do reviews count for demos, or?
Apparently on this one they do. They didn't used to, but on this one it does. It seems like. I don't know if there's a way to enable reviews on demos. So that must be something new.
So how much will you pay for this game?
Yeah, someone's asking for the price point.
Yeah, I wonder how much it is going to be. I wonder, actually.
Compared to Trials of Kokoro, which is an action visual novel.
I haven't played Trials of Kokoro yet. It was one of the ones I was looking forward to.
I believe that one is like $12 or something like that.
It's $13.99.
$13.99. Okay, $14. And this is a straight what? Okay, the game you're talking about, Unjaded. What game you was talking about?
What do you mean? Disco Elysium?
Yeah, that's a visual novel, right?
Yeah.
How much is that?
Disco Elysium. That's a indie game. Let's see. But pretty well known. It's $40 right now.
Woo! Holy smokes! All right, it's an RPG. I'm pretty sure you guys.
It's an RPG. Choices matter, but it's super heavy. If you've seen it, it's heavy with the exposition and narration and dialogue. You're like, what do you call it? You're talking to all the characters having long dialogue and those branching options and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Okay, so how much will you pay for this game?
I'm feeling $5.99. That jumped immediately out to me. $5.99.
All right. What about you, Sakronic?
Yeah, I was gonna say $4.99.
So $5.
But you might be good. But you might be good to do like a $7.99 and then just always do as many sales as you can. You know, I don't know.
Okay.
Depends. But $4.99 for me is what I would probably pay for it if it was me.
Okay. So
can I add one bit?
Go ahead.
If the tapeworm leads into like this crazy ability to manipulate the outcomes of multiple characters in the story, that's going to change the price for me. So that demo is crazy. It's not a lot that you can get out of it, to be honest. A lot of the structure is there, but if that's going to be the structure throughout, hey, play the game, unlock some endings, see the story to its end. That's where I'm at. It feels like ticket to a movie theater type of deal for me, but you know how games are as far as pricing. So that's what it is for me.
Okay.
It could be more though. I feel like if the tapeworm is going crazy, you know. So that's my bit.
Okay, and for me, you know, given the fact that it is a visual novel, you do have multiple playthroughs. Like, I'm not sure the endings are chapter based or it's just, you know, wherever you made a certain decision and it's counting variables and whatnot. I'm not sure how that works. I'm pretty sure it's a critical choice that you made. It's probably like a life or death choice, you know, and Marlon made that life or death choice. You know, we made the death choice, Cychronic. We decided to go to the dumpster. Marlon took the easy route out. You know, he made the life choice. He wanted to not explore the danger. So it ended to where the detective was interrogating the lady who basically had the tapeworm, you know, based on the ending he's describing. You know, maybe that was the beginning or the end of that person. I don't know, but you know, you got multiple endings, you got a great story, and I mean, do I really want to buy a game for its story, or do I
would, yeah. It depends on if it's good, really good or not. Yeah.
And this is from a non-visual novel player. But based on playing this game and knowing that I have multiple choices and I mean endings and stuff like that, and I could see the effort and potential that the game, you know, has, you know, and that's all that matters in RPG Maker, guys. Putting your effort and potential into everything that you do to create, you know, your project. You should be proud of everything that you do, you know, whether it wins the heart of potential players. Just be proud of your creation. Don't you guys agree with that? You know, just be satisfied that you completed a game.
Because a lot of people don't. A lot of developers never get their project done.
Yeah, and I keep telling them that it's the effort. It's the effort that is being put into the project. But I probably paid no more than $5 for this game. $5 extra ending because, You know, it's not what I see in game, but I do like the story, and I am invested into doing more about the story. So yeah, I will pay $5, you know, to know what happened. But is it gonna entice me to keep playing over and over to get the extra endings? Maybe not. Maybe not, unless it has like achievements and, you know, I can unlock all the achievements. Yeah, I probably do it. But replaying it after the main story, I probably won't. You know, but if it had all the elements that I do like choices, relationship statuses, maybe you know, the choices that I make a difference, or whether they're good or bad, then I would probably pay a little bit more. You know, it'd probably be worth us $8 game. But right now, it's just a straight story. You know, got some good music. It got a creepy atmosphere. It does have some funny moments. I give it $4.99. You know, $3.99, $4.99 tops, easily. Other than that, you know, it's a good story. You know, it's definitely a Goosebumps type book.
There you go. Yeah, thanks to the developer for letting us review this game, man.
Oh
that
yeah,
was,
definitely.
like Tapeworms.
It been on the radar for a long time, and you know, I can really tell you this: visual novels aren't the favorites in the RPG Maker community. They're really not. It's a small group, but this one, I actually like it. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Pretty decent, yeah.
So if you guys want to experience it for yourself, the download link is in the description. Or if you just, you know, based off our word for it, and you want to give the developer, you know, some type of, you know, rating based on the podcast view, we are asking you to go to their Steam page and give a review based on, you know, the RTP introduction of the game. So I mean, you guys basically seen the game, may not played it, but you know, you definitely got probably the same experience that we got. And you know, your feedback is just as great as our feedback as well, so we just ask you to do that. If you want to play it, you know, you want to stream the game for the developer to give them feedback, then we also encourage you to do that, because at the end of the day, your game is going to be here. You're going to be in that hot seat, and you're going to get a score, whether the game has potential or not. Let's freaking go. So this is a short one, guys. Visual novel, not really much to talk about. So like we said, you know, we apologize for not being here last week, but we are working on things to bring you podcast goodness every week, regardless, unless it's a major emergency. But yeah, until next time, I believe it is Marlon's pick.
Yeah, got a couple of games.
Yeah.
I don't know if we wanted to, you know, ask the guys like what they think about reviewing 2 games on one podcast, but that's what I'd like to do. But yeah, we'll see.
It depends. Like the way you're describing the games, I don't know, man. These are long games. You said a couple hour demos.
And I would rather give each game its own spotlight. You know what I'm saying?
And this is a visual novel. We already an hour and a half in. So you're talking about 2 games.
So yeah, I guess like let us know in the chat if you guys would like to have more games per podcast. Because here's my take, right? We could very well just review 1 game at a time, no problem. But think about the games that we'll never get to, because who else is doing podcast reviews or any sort of reviews like we're doing for RPG Maker games in general. When I search Steam, I got a lot of results, and I search itch, and there's a ton of results. So I'm thinking that, there's only 52 weeks in a year, and we probably take off for Christmas, I'm guessing, right? So we ain't gonna hit that. We're not gonna get all those games. So in my opinion, if we could sometimes do a couple games to kind
Oh,
of
look at him. He cares about the
bring light to the community. Yeah, because think about it though. I'm thinking about that wrong. I watch a lot of video game reviewing videos. I'm subscribed to a number of them. I'm trying to think of my favorite one. But anyway, they probably give a game 30, 40 minutes, and those are AAA games. So not saying we got to do that, but I was thinking an hour per game would probably bring more games to the forefront, and also probably grow our community, because 2 developers is more than 1 developer. And then, the more developers that join our group, the better, I'm guessing, right? And then the more folks we can probably reach with our podcast. So, I am strongly behind. That means like supporting of, just tweaking the format. Maybe we do 2 episodes in one day and they're like an hour long. I don't know, but just that's where my head is at. I'll continue to do the one, and if you guys want to do one, that's fine. But I am proposing that, right, and putting that bill in the box for the Congress of RPG makers to approve or veto.
All right, we'll figure that out. We can probably talk about it a little bit when we end the stream, and and other things. So yeah, we'll come up with some solution that's going to be best for these guys. And I do agree with I do agree. It helps, keeps the games that's on the back burner and people waiting to have their game played. We can get more done that way. So yeah, but other than that, if my co-hosts don't have anything else they want to add, I guess we can all go and enjoy the rest of our evenings.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your night.
Have a great week.
Peace.
Peace out.